association with KBLA Talk 1580, the Terry Claiborne Foundation presents its 26th annual holiday party, Saturday, December 9th, featuring live entertainment, celebrity appearances, plus food and drinks. There is a cover charge for this party of the season, but not if you're one of our special guests. All you have to do is go to our website at kbla1580.com and sign up. That's it, that's all. Just sign up at kbla1580.com and you could win entrance to the soiree of the season. But whether you win or not, get a ticket, support the kids, and come join us on the red carpet in your semi-formal club attire and celebrate the season with KBLA Talk 1580 and the Terry Claiborne Foundation as we collect toys for the youth in our community. That's Saturday, December 9th, 1110 South La Cienega Boulevard, just south of Olympic. It's a holiday party with a purpose.
I'm Terry Claiborne. It's going to be a party. Come hang out with us.
Came to get it drunk with a dame and shit it drunk. You came to get it on. More than 5 O's in your bank to get it on. Roll up like that thing can get it on. Plank to fit it on. Came to get it on. Hold up, you wanna work that, twerk that. Let me in, let me hurt that, murk that. Till you gotta hurt back. Can't boo, you gotta slurp that. Can't cuddle after we done, it wasn't worth that. So we am responsible for bringing dirt back. We back, she at the bar style and she throwing it up. She drank a little hypno, throwing it up. But I'm only dealing with freaks that wanna go.
Welcome back into hour 3 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. This is the RSVP Law and Order edition. Damn it, I never get it right. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time. This is the Law and Order edition of RSVP. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. All right, as a Law and Order fan, that, not the topics, let's be clear. Don't want to hear about anyone else's misery, but I do like hearing that sound effect.
I need to go back and watch. SVU is like one of my favorite shows, and I haven't watched it in a couple. Oh, I just realized why I hadn't watched it.
Why?
Because I used to watch their show with somebody that I used to really like, and now we don't talk anymore, so we don't watch it.
It's interesting going back and watching the show, though, and you can see the evolution of the show and like where different moments happen to it. It's also interesting seeing the different conversations that were happening around, sexual assault and these things and how it evolved and what they taught. Yeah. I mean, and you can also see when they were in their heyday and everything was ripped from the headlines. Like,
they still do that, don't they?
I don't know.
No, they do.
The question, because
the last time I watched it, they did.
They have a lot of top subject matter coming up if they do. Andy? Oh,
do they still have the new one with the spinoff?
The criminal intent with Stabler?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And the black girl?
I think she got in trouble. I know they were having some drama the last time because she betrayed him, and
then she was she
was
hooked up
almost
with
murdered.
Yeah. See, I got to catch up. I haven't watched it since a while. Wow.
I do love those Law and Order SVU marathons on Sundays.
Maybe I'll watch that tonight while I'm making the macaroni and cheese.
Mac and cheese, Andy.
2 things.
Yes.
Number 1, you say you know your hip hop, right?
I do.
Who produced that record?
Oh, I have no idea. What's is it the one that
he
Alchemist?
Said it. No.
You came to get it up. You came to get down.
Rock the Mic.
Rockwilder?
No, I was saying. Remember the song "Rock the Mic"?
Yeah. State Property, Rock the Mic.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye? No.
You still don't know?
No.
Just Blaze.
He does say it at the beginning. Just Blaze.
And then number 2.
Okay.
I just had to test your,
You got served. I should know that. I think you got served. That's why I immediately started doing my big one. I was ready to do some battle dance. That's what I feel like when I hear that song.
And I think that's what's also missing in today's hip hop is the super producer. But anyways.
That's a great point.
Number 2, to what Trent said, I'm curious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that when we split from a partner, right? And whether it's a show, a movie, a restaurant, a store that we frequented together, once we split, it's as if like we can't go to that spot. Why do we do that?
Ownership goes to one or the other. I'm gonna defer to you guys because I don't feel that way. I'm gonna do me.
No, because I was a fan of SVU before. I discovered that person like, oh, you like this too. Oh, we should watch it and compare notes. I just never went back to it because it was like on hiatus, and then I started working on my own stuff, so I never went back to it.
Trent is running around.
No,
you know, it's lonely
honestly,
teardrops. He
no.
sees it on like Stabler comes on the screen, and he's like, "I remember when we used to compare notes and see who the."
It's genuinely what it was. It was on break, and I never went back to it because I got busy doing other stuff. Okay. That's simply all it was. Like I'm not sitting at home heartbroken, sitting in my room like Brandy, sitting in my room. Okay, like total. No, I'm not doing that. Like I went through all that. I cried the week in February when I accepted that it was over, and I moved on.
A date. Oh,
yeah,
a date, a time.
Yes, I moved on.
You moved on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Done. But you're not watching Law and Order.
I just said I was gonna watch it tonight. Well, catch up while I'm making my macaroni and cheese.
Okay, we'll see.
God, you guys are horrible.
We go in
running in circles. Come on, Jill.
Listen, really quickly, congratulations, or I don't know if that's the proper word for it, but
filing a lawsuit.
No, this is not a filing a lawsuit. This is being not being charged in a fatal shooting and being ruled as self-defense. Shaka Zulu, who was Ludacris's manager, music industry vet, worked across a lot of different projects. He was involved in a shooting outside of his restaurant in June of 22 that left one man dead. Prosecutors are dropping the case. Shaka insisted that he fired in self-defense. They tried to attack him, jump him, and allegedly, there is video from it, but he was found to be acting in self-defense and will not be charged and will not stand trial. He actually was harmed in the shooting and was hospitalized for an extremely long time. So they made the Atlanta Police Department, this was their statement, has made an arrest on charges determined at a standard of probable cause, which is their duty in this. In all cases, the district attorney's office investigates. And to determine what can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. Our investigation of the facts and analysis of applicable laws indicates that this is an appropriate resolution of this case based on the standard of proof required. Because the defendant is now involved in a pre-indictment diversion program, we will not comment further after the matter about the matter at this time. So. Good for him.
Well,
prayers for them.
Wow, that's horrible that you had to get shot and go through that, though. I couldn't imagine. My God.
Pretty. Shout out to Fahima in the chat. She says she loves S. Ipatha Merkson and Law and Order. She is a vet. You know, everybody loves her. That's the black chick.
Yeah, I never watched the original Law and Order, though.
You know, she's now on, I think she might have left that show too. I can't remember. I believe it's Chicago Med on NBC. She's a part of their Chicago series.
That's my grandma's show.
Forensic Accountant says, it's ironic Jill mentioned Kiss on My List because it was the sister of Daryl's girlfriend who co-wrote the lyrics. She's since deceased, but there have been women involved creatively with Hall & Oates. So there you go. You know, there's some backstory there.
I told you there was a woman there somewhere. We got to see. And
Urban Spencer is shouting out Shaka. He's a CAU grad, Clark Atlanta University. Big up to y'all. Shannon Thompson asks a very important question. Do you use eggs in your mac and cheese? She wants to know.
I do not.
Not even as a binding?
No.
Okay. Andy got something to say.
I'm going to be using eggs.
As a binder.
You cook, Andy?
Hell yeah. I used to cook at the Beverly Wilshire.
That is so funny to me. We'll have to talk more about that after the show. You just don't seem like the cooking type.
Listen, Andy got secrets. Andy back there holding on to a lot of things, you know what I mean?
I know he has secrets. We've talked before. It's like,
he's
wait,
a man of, know, he's like, listen, I don't got to reveal it. Let y'all do all of that chit-chatting.
Yeah.
I got it over here.
I'm the cook of the house.
Are you really?
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I'm the cook of the house, too.
Well, because, you know, moms, you know what I'm saying, she always works in the holidays. So, you know, and then my girl, she likes my cooking.
I know that's right.
And I don't mind cooking, though. I actually love cooking, so.
I know. What's on the menu?
It's simple. Just some wings, some mac, and some greens. Keeping it simple.
Turkey wings?
Turkey wings,
okay,
yes.
okay.
I'm not doing the whole turkey that's going around. I'm gonna switch it up and just do some wings.
Okay. All right. And your menu, you're making the mac and cheese.
I'm making it all.
You're making it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything.
I'm making it all too.
And you're making it all too.
Except, well, my mom is making the dressing, but everything else I'm making.
Shout out to men in the kitchen. Listen, Urban Spinster says eggs in the mac, yes, and baked. Yes, I use it as a binding ingredient. I don't understand if you don't.
Well, you have to taste my macaroni and cheese and tell me if you can taste the difference.
Okay.
What's the controversy behind the eggs in the mac?
I guess some people just feel like, doesn't belong there. I didn't realize people had such a visceral reaction to eggs, that there were people that like,
Yeah, I've never used it in a recipe.
Look, when it comes to food, in my opinion, food is an art. So, however which way your taste buds roll, throw it in there. The homie Miles, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Miles. Tap In, he just dropped the EP recently. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can hear him in the morning or whatnot.
Shout out to Big Miles.
I was going to say, oh yeah, the morning guy, Miles.
But, he asked me a question a couple weeks ago about garlic in the mac. And I was like, where did that come from? And I guess there's an issue with garlic in mac and cheese.
Like garlic cloves?
I don't know.
Or like minced garlic of some sort?
I'm assuming minced garlic or garlic cloves in the mac. I mean, I don't know.
I guess maybe garlic salt. I don't know if I would want
I use garlic powder to like season my macaroni and cheese, but like not garlic cloves like chopped up in there, no.
Oh no.
And slight garlic.
Your taste is your taste.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fahima. She said that Esapatho was a villain in Lackawanna Blues. That was a great HBO series. I believe, was it HBO or Showtime? I believe it was HBO.
Yeah.
It's a great series. Tony Yayo wants to know if Fannie Willis was the DA in that case. I'm not certain. It's a great question. Some people add onion into their mac and cheese. There's a lot of conversation happening. I've had that. That's not bad. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to play the Jim Irsay clip because I think that it is pretty interesting. We're also going to talk about another professional sports team owner that is suing another professional sports team, as well as Adam Silver. I told you, it is blotter files going down tonight. We should be thankful that we are not on the other side of any lawsuits.
I'm grateful
the way that, this stuff
that mine are over.
Yeah, I don't have any, so thankful for that. And, thankful that we're going to get some good food. And we are here.
Grateful that we have the food.
All the topics on KBLA Talk 1580. We're going to get into more on the other side. Don't you move.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi,
Maisha Cairo here, KBLA, live at Chase Bank on Crenshaw and Vernon for the In This Together tour with female business owners, a day of empowerment, community panels, and best of all, tips on building business from marketing to capital. I was able to speak with one of the panelists, the owner of Kids Love. Take a listen.
So Kids Love, KIDSLUV, is a first-to-market zero-sugar, vitamin-enhanced functional beverage for kids.
So the zero sugar is really important because if not, the sugar gets on the teeth, it can cause cavities. So as a mom, I love this vitamins and hydration in one. Tell us what's happening here with Chase Bank today.
So I would say, I think what Chase is trying to do is create a community actually for entrepreneurs, a place where people can go. They have the space to do it. It's a beautiful space. And to be able to have these conversations. There are so many benefits to being a women-owned and certified business, from a standpoint of getting into stores, not paying the slotting fees of what it takes to be in stores. So I think Chase is trying to bring awareness to a lot of the things that people just don't know about, that not only the bank can help, but outside of the bank, their relationships can help create.
That's beautiful. And I know, this is how we build equity in communities of color, is kind of spreading that information and that knowledge. So thank you for being here today and doing your part and letting these women know that it is possible.
For KBLA 1580, I'm Maisha Cairo in the community with Chase.
Hey, keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So Jim Irsay, he is the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. He, throughout time, has had some interesting moments in media, some interesting situations, some interesting comments. Well, recently he was doing an interview with HBO Sports for, I believe, Real Sports is the show. And he was sitting with Andrea Kramer, that is the interviewer. And the subject came up about his 2014 arrest for DUI. And Jim believes that the reason why he was arrested, that he was low-key targeted because he's rich, white, and a billionaire. So let's hear Jim's comments on what he had to say. And then we're going to talk about him going after First Take and mentioning his black mother, Dorothy.
How did Kim's death affect you?
I was saddened by it, but, addiction and alcoholism is a fatal disease and it kills.
2 weeks after Wondrum's death, Irsay's name was in the news again when he was pulled over by police for driving erratically.
Stand with your feet together, your hands down your side for me, okay? Stand up, stand up.
Numerous bottles of pills were found in Irsay's car, and he ultimately pleaded guilty to driving under the influence. Was that the low point for you?
No, not really, because the arrest was wrong. I had just had hip surgery and been in the car for 45 minutes. And they asked me to walk the line? Are you kidding me? I can barely walk at all.
And so you're saying you couldn't walk because you'd had the hip surgery, not because you were on any kind of painkillers?
I mean, I'm not saying that. It's a fact.
So why did you plead to the misdemeanor?
Just to get it over with. Look, I am prejudiced against because I'm a rich white billionaire. If I'm just the average guy down the block, they're not pulling me in. Of course not.
Do you know what it's going to sound like if people hear you say they're prejudiced against a rich white billionaire?
I don't care what it sounds like. It's the truth. I don't, Andre, I could give a damn what people think, how anything sounds or sounds like. The truth is the truth, and I know the truth.
So, Jim, listen, we're not going to sit here and act like there are not people that are not jealous of those in higher positions and so forth. But, dog, do you remember how many pills you had in the car with you that day?
How many pills was he on when he was on the last interview clip that we heard?
I have no idea.
Because the vocal inflections tell me a totally different story.
He also had a large amount of cash with him, Now, look, he said, I believe, it was $29,000 he had in cash on him. He said that's a low dollar amount for him to be carrying. He said that he gives away between $2,000 and $10,000 to the homeless, and he's needed in the street and needed that amount to roll out with him.
Wait a minute.
So the
wait a minute. No, wait. We gotta go back.
Yeah.
Let me get this right. $2,000 and $10,000. $2 and $10,000.
No, $2,000 to $10,000.
Oh,
that's
$2,000
how much he gives away to the homeless
daily.
He didn't say daily.
Okay.
He just said that that's how much he gives away, and that carrying $29,000 in cash is not a high amount or not abnormal. He wasn't utilizing it for anything. So they had a conversation about this on First Take, which they've talked about several times. And if you've seen the video of the incident, it does not look like, his version of the events. But none of us were there. We don't know. Benefit of the doubt. Correct. But he responded to the conversation that was on First Take about it this morning. And because obviously when you use the word prejudice, you're going to ping some ears. Some people are going to stand up as a white man saying that, he's having prejudiced behavior against him. And though he is correct, people can be prejudiced against you. I don't know. Were the cops black? Like, what are you saying?
In Indianapolis?
Prejudice, right, usually denotes that there's some type of racial component involved. If he could have just said that they, were trying to humble a billionaire or something like that, same, in theory, actions, right? Same setup and scenario, but what you are implying is totally different. One, you're saying it has to do with your wealth, but your race, like that, again, using prejudice sounds to me like you're saying a black cop was jealous of a white, rich man.
Discrimination is probably a better word, not prejudice.
Right.
In my mind, what has happened is that, because the way that white folks discriminate against each other is by class and wealth. So that's why I said earlier I could see that he had a point, because a white cop is definitely going to harass another white billionaire who has means and access. It's like, oh, look, it's very, that's because that's how white people do it to each other. So I completely get it.
I mean, classism is a big thing.
Yes. Should he say that out loud? Sure. In his circle of friends, over a game of bridge, at the country club, amongst his, circle of friends, not out loud on a podcast, because you're a white man. No one's hearing you.
Well, he brought that up in his series of tweets.
Because he knows it's true. And what I love about this guy is that he's so self-aware and so, what's the word that I'm looking for? Delusional at the same time, that it's fun to watch.
Delulu.
Yeah.
He said, my grandparents came across Ellis Island because,
See, here we go.
Here's the
here
thing.
we go.
We know he inherited his portion, if not the whole team of ownership.
Didn't they
from
all?
His parents, right? But his parents were immigrants, right? My parents came across Ellis Island with their shirt, with just the shirt on their back, penniless and escaping Jewish concentration camps. I grew up in a horrible home where both my brother and sister died in a car crash in 1971. I worked for my living, bought 30% of the Colts through a bank loan. And on First Take, the woman that preceded Stephen A., she was a black woman. Her name is Kimberly. How dare you pretend to know me? I don't know your name. I don't care to, with the red face emoji. If my black mother Dorothy was still alive, you'd be in some big hot water. You are mean and ugly. You're a nothing burger. Now.
Wait a minute. He has a black mother called Dorothy?
Kimberly A. Martin.
Oh.
Kimberly A. Martin is the ESPN analyst that he was directing us to.
Okay.
His black mother, Dorothy, he's going to explain who she is in the next set of tweets. But I immediately, what I thought, Mama's little baby loves shortening. He is of a certain era and sounds like a domestic
Yes.
That was Ms. Dorothy was involved in his household. That's what I took it as, and that is what it sounds like. So this is what he went on to say about Miss Dorothy.
Here comes the delusion.
Dorothy Bloodsaw was my black mom. She carried me in the house in Lincolnwood, Illinois on 1959 June and raised me in the light of Christ. I would be dead if not for her unconditional love. She showed me that Jesus was my savior. I owe everything to her. Dorothy, known as Doss, passed in 2002 after raising her grandchildren, Carly, Casey, and her beloved buddy, Kaylin. She altered Israel history. She was the strongest woman I'll ever know, and my children will testify that she altered our family's history forever. So, like I said, we kind of know. There's a photo of Jim and his family and Miss Dorothy in Hollywood back in the day on the set of Jerry Maguire. There is. It's out there if you'd like to see it. But suffice it to say, Delulu comes in all shapes, sizes, and bank accounts.
Baby. Look, I'm gonna let him have Aunt Dot or whatever her name, Miss Dorothy. Look, whatever story you want to tell to make you feel comfortable, sir, and to make yourself relatable, pandering, whatever you want to call it, have at it.
I just, hey.
You know what? White men got to stop. Because, white men will just pull cards of convenience whenever they feel like it. Even down to the point to say that a poor officered uniform is discriminated against him because he's rich and wealthy. Mm-hmm. Shut up and just sit in the house and go play bridge some damn where.
And that his black mama Dorothy would come and put you in some hot water for talking bad about her baby Jim.
Mm-hmm. There's always an uncle or Aunt Ruckus somewhere.
Listen, a lot happening. We'll see if there's any backlash with Mr. Irsay's comments.
For the last 3 years, towards the end of the year, I'm going to take it back. For the last 6 or 7 years, towards the end of the year, it always gets real crazy. I remember hiding out in a bunker. What year was that? 2018 going into the new year? Because it was just too crazy. I didn't trust it. And I think I'm going to have to go back in hiding towards the end. Because this is just getting this. It's 1980 outside. We've got wars going on. It's too much.
It's a lot happening. In other owner news, James Dolan, who is the owner of the New York Knicks, has resigned from his position on the NBA Board of Governors, Influence, Advisory, Finance, and Media Committees because he is upset with Adam Silver in the NBA. He has vetoed a bunch of high-profile things like the WNBA going to San Francisco, the sale of the Charlotte Hornets, and he has also filed a $10 million lawsuit against the Toronto Raptors.
And don't forget, he did not let Mark Jackson on the plane.
Right. Over the allegations of theft of proprietary information. You want to know what he's talking about? Coaches taking their notes with them when they go to another team. We'll get more into the topics and headlines on the other side. We'll get into this Joe Budden, all of that and more. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
We was done. Then she said, can my peoples come? Here we go, I see you don't stop. They wanna ride in something with a rim, don't stop. Look, baby, you fine, but your girlfriend's not. And then she wanna hold out, getting cute on the phone. I ain't gotta be bothered, be cute on your own. My jump off doesn't run off at the mouth so much. My jump off never asks why I go out so much.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580. More when we come forward.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. More than half of American voters say they or someone they live with owns a gun. An NBC News national poll shows 52% say so. That's up from 46% in 2019. Gun ownership falls along partisan lines, with 2 in 3 Republican voters saying they or someone in their household owns a gun. Less than half of independents and Democrats said the same. White voters tended to say they own guns at higher rates than Black or Latino voters. A Macomb County jury in Michigan has found a Warren man guilty of a hate crime stemming from a 2022 incident. Anthony Mangiapane was accused of shouting a racial slur and firing a shot at a black man who walked past his business. The suspect refused to come out of his building but later surrendered. Mangiapane was found guilty of assault with a deadly weapon, ethnic intimidation, and a weapons charge. He faces up to 8 years in prison. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
We've all felt the impact of rising food prices. For families in poverty, they're facing malnutrition and even death. You can feed a family for a month with your $50 donation to Compassion International. Just text the word radio to 97646.
In association with KBLA Talk 1580, the Terry Claiborne Foundation presents its 26th annual holiday party, Saturday, December 9th, featuring live entertainment, celebrity appearances, plus food and drinks. There is a cover charge for this party of the season, but not if you're one of our special guests. All you have to do is go to our website at KBLA1580.com and sign up. That's it, that's all. Just sign up at KBLA1580.com and you could win entrance to the soiree of the season. But whether you win or not, get a ticket, support the kids, and come join us on the red carpet in your semi-formal club attire and celebrate the season with KBLA Talk 1580 and the Terry Claiborne Foundation as we collect toys for the youth in our community. That's Saturday, December 9th, 1110 South La Cienega Boulevard, just south of Olympic. It's a holiday party with a purpose.
I'm Terry Claiborne. It's going to be a party. Come hang out with us.
Joey from Vermont, a farmer trying to get through the winter. Adriana from South Carolina, a single mother living paycheck to paycheck. Liam from Ohio, an injured father struggling to provide for his family. Hi, I'm Shanola Hampton, and I support the Feeding America network of food banks because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the oven on, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Nissan has a car for every driver who wants more. More action. More fun. More guts. More head turns. More adventure. More electric. At Nissan, more is all we do.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. Pro Football Hall of Famer and urban peace pioneer Jim Brown believed in just that. So he founded the AmeriCAN Foundation for Social Change in 1988, focusing on at-risk and high-risk youth in underserved schools and juvenile detention facilities, as well as adult incarceration and reentry initiatives. The core of the AmeriCAN program is its 15-chapter life skills curriculum. Mastery of these skills allows individuals to meet their academic potential, conform their behavior to acceptable societal standards, and improve the quality of their lives by equipping them with what they need to confidently and successfully contribute to society. Today, the foundation is led by its president, Monique Brown, who has been actively involved in the organization for more than 25 years. The AmeriCAN Foundation continues its work in memory of its founder, actor, philanthropist, and NFL legend Jim Brown. To get involved or make a donation, please visit AmeriCANCommunity.partners. That's AmeriCANCommunity.partners. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Many more. How many from the club wanna go? I know you see it. I know you see it.
I'm like any, many, more. How many in the club wanna go? I know you see it. I know you see it.
Now you can call me Tip Drill, playing my song. Throw a couple ones, then she throw away her thongs. When she bust it open, take a picture with my phone. She love my cologne, call it poop by the zone. And now she poppin', yeah, it's going down. Slap the waitress on the booty, tell her get another round. And when I make it rain, money all over the ground. Fresh Force One, Sean John, button down.
Welcome back in. You were locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Here in LA, we're about like 20 minutes from Thanksgiving. It's crazy. I already asked you, Trent. I asked you, Andy. Chat, give it up. Let me know what's on the menu for tomorrow. What is an absolute no-go? What is on the menu? I think we talked about this, Andy. Do you believe in potato salad at Thanksgiving, or is that strictly a summer food, Trent?
I like potato salad because I also like it with my slither of ham. So I'm not making potato salad tomorrow. I'm making mashed potatoes, actually. And then my mom wants scalloped potatoes, so that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I heard that. I don't eat ham.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting fried turkey.
I want some of that so bad.
I'm so excited.
I've been craving fried turkey for years.
Me
and
too.
My mom knew somebody that used to do it that she used to work with, and then she retired and she just kind of stopped talking to all her old coworkers. So
She's like moving on.
Yeah, yes,
Evolution.
very much so. So I never got the hookup on this, fried turkey. That it was like this world renowned turkey. So
I think I messed up though. I don't think I bought anything to make for dessert. So
my mom said she was gonna make a sweet potato pie. I usually have to tell her to make 2 of those because I will eat a whole one by myself.
Man,
it's like
I
my
like
favorite.
Listen, my sweet potatoes, world famous. Like my pie is good too, but my actual sweet potatoes, world famous. Like probably the best sweet potatoes that you've ever had in your life.
Really? I made some earlier. I made my sweet potatoes earlier. I already made my greens. I'm going to make my macaroni and cheese tonight.
I'm making cabbage and dressing.
Yes.
And I got fried turkey coming and mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah.
But then some people are bringing me stuff, so I feel happy about that.
Yes. I love when people bring stuff.
I'm glad.
I love that for you.
I love that for me too. Because I really don't feel like cooking. Yeah. We'll see if I even end up cooking. Andy?
Trent.
Yes.
Dressing or stuffing?
Oh, definitely dressing. It's in a pan. No one is stuffing a turkey. A raw turkey with dressing, and then we're going to eat it. That's cross-contamination.
Carrots and celery and lemon.
And an onion.
An onion, yes. All of
that's
that
what you
goes
put
in
in
the
there.
turkey.
Yeah, not stuffing.
Right. I agree with you. Forensic accountant says, I'm going to say this one time, after which this message will shortly self-destruct. Adam Silver is in deeper trouble than with any NBA owner. He has much bigger problems ahead. Interesting.
Okay, self-destructed. We've seen it.
So we'll have to see what happens. Urban Spencer says, the monkey bread. My guy passed away and his son didn't keep it up.
That is horrible.
Oh.
I'll make you some monkey bread
in years.
Oh, really? I'll make a monkey bread.
I haven't had it in years. When I was little, for whatever reason, King's Hawaiian bread, I used to think that was monkey bread. I didn't know. But I haven't had the actual real stuff. I can't even remember. It's probably not even that. It's interesting. That's not something that I've ever tried to make either. Because usually, if I like something, I'm like, okay, I'll go find a recipe for it or get, in the kitchen with it. That is not something that I've done. I don't know why either. Tasty. Do you eat like stuff like ambrosia?
I have been making a joke about that this whole week. I don't judge people who eat it, but I've got this inside joke with my homegirl Tish. Shout out to Tish. I was like, girl, I know you've been somewhere making that ambrosia right now. I've been clowning her about it all week. I have been clowning about ambrosia so hard. I even went and got a little a mock picture to troll her on the internet tomorrow and to tag her. Like, Tish makes the best ambrosia, so hit her up if you want some. I've been because what is like why?
What is it and why?
It's
right?
marshmallows, pineapples, coconut, maraschino cherries, mandarin oranges mixed up, and some pecans. I think walnuts. It's just very Caucasian.
It's fruit soup. I don't know.
Something like that.
When I was small, like a small child, just because I saw marshmallows and maraschino cherries.
It's very 1970s.
I wanted it. But I tried it one time as an adult, and I was like, did I really eat this? I don't think I did. I think I just picked out the parts I liked.
In my mind, it's something that you had in like the 70s or something like that, and it's just a colorful piece of something on the table to add color to it. That's what it is.
Shout out to Shannon in the chat. She says she just pulled her sweet potato pies out of the oven and she's shredding her cheese for her mac and cheese while listening to us. I heard that. Urban Spinster says from scratch. She's making monkey rolls from scratch, not pulled apart frozen rolls stuck together.
Ooh.
Yuck. I was mad. I was so mad when someone's mama thought that was hidden. I heard that. You making monkey bread from scratch?
Listen.
I do not know. I don't even know what the real ingredients are.
It's only one way to do it.
I never had it. Monkey bread used to come, the monkey bread man used to come to the hair salon in Inglewood. That is hilarious. I bet they did. The other day when I was getting my lashes filled, there's a guy that came around with the drinks, the frozen drinks.
Yes.
And they were big. And I was like, this is what the salons are all about. That local walkthrough business.
Totally.
Andy?
What's the perfect time to eat Thanksgiving dinner?
3 o'clock. Somewhere between 3 and 6.
Yeah.
That's what I think. What do you think?
I've always been early evening, like 6, 7 o'clock.
I think it depends on, one, how much family is coming through. So that is a determining factor. If it's like light, like it's just we're really at the house with it and it's only a couple of us, we're going to eat at our leisure. I don't know if we're really going to, do the whole let's get our plates and come sit down at the table and bless our food and then go off. That doesn't seem right. I am not one to watch football all day. I get really sad because they don't play basketball anymore on Thanksgiving. So I just sitting there like.
When did they play basketball on Thanksgiving?
A couple of years. They tried for a minute to kind of steal that from the NFL. I actually remember going in the Bay Area. I went to, it was San Francisco. It's not San Francisco. Sacramento versus the Clippers one Thanksgiving. It had to be about 20 years ago because I was in the Bay for it or whatever. And so they did it for a while. And it's just been of recent, like they tried it. They tried to run it. Didn't work. But here's the thing. I feel like they should have stood their ground because the NFL, guess what they're doing on Christmas? They got football games. They give zero cares about what the NBA has going on. And everybody knows Thanksgiving is football. Christmas is the NBA. But no, the NFL doesn't want to respect the rules. So,
And I bet you they had some low viewership that day.
Probably. But I mean, I don't know. I don't care about what is it? What are the legacy teams? Detroit Lions play the who? Usually?
They play Green Bay.
And then the Cowboys usually play the Lions?
They will be playing.
I mean, not the Lions.
Well, tomorrow they're going to be playing the Commanders.
Okay. Oh. I hate that name for the team.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the Commanders. It sounds hard. It sounds better than the Pelicans. I know 2 different sports.
I don't like the Pelicans.
Exactly.
I don't like that name. That was dumb. And the mascot was ugly. They went through like 3 different versions of that mascot. That first version was very, very scary.
Well, I guess New Orleans, they're known for, I guess, Pelicans. That's the reason why.
But who thinks about that? Seriously?
You're right.
Nobody. I don't even know where Pelicans really, I think that they're at, but I wouldn't have named New Orleans.
At the zoo.
At the beach.
At the
Something.
beach.
Yeah. Not down in the,
They should have called themselves the New Orleans Creole or something, or the New Orleans Gumbo. Or,
right.
I don't know.
Or did what the Bobcats did with, what you call it? And change the name back. Talk to the Jazz. Hey. Can we get our name back?
Yeah, did nobody like the Bobcats, but I get it, He named it after himself.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the narcissism is just
Bobcats.
A shout out to Fahima. Fahima says she said she is doing a rotisserie chicken, macaroni and cheese, greens, and sweet potatoes. I know that's right. I'm not mad at any of that. I like Thanksgiving.
I bet her rotisserie chicken is fire too.
Juicy, not dry. Perfectly brown, crisp on the outside. Mm-hmm. Listen, when we come forward, we're going to get into this Joe Budden clip because...
What did he do now?
So here's the thing, really quickly. He decided to re-edit his podcast and his comments about the Cassie versus Diddy thing because he semi has a business relationship with Diddy or has done business with him on some level. 2, he said, what if Diddy really did all this stuff? Do I want to be on record?
I was about to say, because, okay, Joe.
And
all right, Joe.
More. We'll listen to that when we come forward. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
King C. Gillette knows you're dedicated to your barbershop routine, but how do you maintain the beard hair you already have? The King C. Gillette Beard Thickener helps to reduce patchiness and strengthens hair's resilience to breakage. Apply the King C. Gillette Beard Thickener daily to see a thicker and fuller beard in just 14 days. It's highly scented with King C. Gillette's signature scent. Just trim, wash, and soften. With King C. Gillette.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo, when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful VC turbo engine, well, we had time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue.
Only 1 in 5 people with autism are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do. Like, what about a programmer?
That's a job for someone with autism.
How about a healthcare worker?
Yep, that is too. People with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas. Introducing WIN by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
What about a ranch hand?
To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome back. So, your guy Joe Budden, we know Joe Budden's usually outspoken, has a lot to say, a lot of commentary, but he didn't have quite as much commentary as some might have expected regarding the Cassidy Diddy lawsuit. And he said he recorded it initially, but that he felt that he was letting the fans get him hyped up and walk him into something that wasn't really a place or a space that he necessarily wanted or felt he needed to be in. So I just wanted to talk about his comments a little bit and see what you guys thought.
So tell us why you did it, because you wanted to. Now you're about to explain.
Oh, man. Well, I did it for legal reasons. One, I did it for a myriad of reasons. But first and foremost, the legal portion, which is, y'all ain't about to clip me up or clip us up or clip this set up and just attach it to whatever story and narrative you want to attach it to. I've been on this here internet a long time before some of y'all was born out there. I know how it goes. And I know how the blog sites work on a slow weekend. Mm-hmm. And I know what they do from experience because they mostly use me to do it. I don't be trying to give them nothing. I be in my little hut somewhere and they go dig something up. They say that you're responding to something that you're not responding to. They take one piece and if they think you're talking about it, they put some text to.
So, listen, I don't know. How do you feel about that, Trent? Because we all have connections that, some may be business, some may be, a little more acquaintance, some might be a little deeper than that. How would you handle it if someone that you had dealings with ended up in the news cycle?
I've had people that I've dealt with in business end up in the news cycle. And it's one reason why I don't really disclose my connections too much, because even if you have a general idea, well, at least when I engage with people, I like to have a general idea of who I'm doing business with. Mm-hmm. And even if I feel like something, you know how my spidey senses work, if I feel like the slightest thing is off and I can't quite put my finger on it, I don't, because I feel like if I do put my finger on it, as soon as I take it up is when the stuff is going to happen. So I like to be very cautious and careful about who and where I position myself, which is why it's taken me forever to get where I'm going, because I'm doing this by myself and not really, I'm being very careful and strategic. I say all that to say, when you are in business with people and things like this happen, is when you have to be very quiet.
But is that so?
And it's hard to do that, especially when people know that you are
outspoken.
Not even outspoken, but you have dealings with somebody. They kind of, almost like he said, they bait you into saying something because they want to know. So it's hard. Either you have to remain neutral or remain silent. And this is a situation where you don't really win, because no matter what you say, it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's true. So let me ask you this, because I think that, across the board in all ways, we have gotten away from innocent until proven guilty. And we know that money can buy people out of a lot of things and, very things like that.
And we also know that the court of public opinion is very strong in these streets.
It is. But if all we really have is the court system, right, to seek justice, do you think that it is wrong to try and force people into making a statement before even realistically a trial has happened where all of the evidence has been presented. Like, do you think it's fair to back person in a corner and say, nope, if you aren't coming out right now and because the thing is this, one of the things he said in this is that everyone condemns domestic violence, right? Like, that's not something that needs to be said. Even if you are, and I will say, you know, of course, a lot of people are pointing out that he has had his own accusations against him. By him, I mean Joe Budden. Very true. But I think in generally speaking, no one is advocating for violence upon another person. You know what I mean? In the context of a relationship. So do you need to hear someone say that in order to believe that they are against it? And then step further, do you have a problem with waiting until seeing what bears out if there's legal process that is coming to happen?
You know, sometimes people can't say anything because of the, you know, legal proceedings, but sometimes it's best to not say anything because it's easier to come back from silence than it is having to retract a statement and when you're running your mouth.
That is very true. Very, very true.
Which is why I'm at a standstill in my relationship. You got to be quiet sometimes.
Forensic accountant says, unfortunately, my acquaintances happen to have been serial killers.
You know what? He out there chopping wood off the grid. I'm not playing with
we're not
with
playing
him.
no games with you. And you, forensic accountant, stay on YouTube. And I'm just like, we love you.
You probably ain't got no Instagram
you
or
sounded
nothing.
real scary out there, forensic accountant. I'm going to let you know right now. I'm thankful that I don't have any problems with you. Kendi in the chat says, there's viewers to gain from talking about Diddy, but I think Joe was chasing the algorithm a little too hard. Joe was right to pull back. Fans want drama. They don't care about consequences if it goes awry. I think that's fair.
Yep. That's a fair statement.
That is very true. And so I think there is nothing wrong with proceeding with caution. And what I'll say, what?
This forensic accountant,
I'll have to see what he said in a second.
Listen.
What I will end with, before I say Happy Thanksgiving, is that I also think that there is nothing wrong with waiting to see how something bears out. I know that is not popular, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing that. I think that that is the fair thing to do, and really, overall, you know, what we should be striving for. No, it won't always happen,
right.
But fair and balanced coverage. Listen, thank you VIPs for locking in with us. We want you to have a safe and amazing Thanksgiving weekend. Don't hit that turkey too hard. Make sure you get up and hit the gym by Sunday or something. I'm just saying.
Thursday night.
Don't leave those leftovers too long. And as always, we appreciate you. When we come forward, you will be hearing the best of KBLA. Make sure you check out Trent Jackson, Trent the Artist, at Trent the Artist.
Yes.
Everywhere. Shout out to Andy. Happy Thanksgiving to him. Shout out to everybody here at KBLA. Since I'm the last voice you'll hear before Thanksgiving, we appreciate you. Enjoy it, and we will see you next week.
Cover no beef, cause I don't eat steak. I got a plate of soul food, chicken, rice, and gravy. Not covered in too much, drinking a cup of punch. Topical every last Thursday of the month.
Daddy put the hot grits on my chest in the morning. When I was sick, Mary had the hot soup boiling, didn't know why, but it felt so good. Like some waffles in the morning, headed back to the woods. Now I'm full as a tick, got some soul on blast and a cassette. Food for my brain and haven't stopped learning yet. Hot wings for Mojo's, got my forehead sweat. Celery and blue cheese.